Again, my name's Gabe Zollner. Interesting article. Chicago to indoctrinate children with LGBT sex ed. And this is posted on Western Center for Journalism. So what's interesting is that they decided to go ahead and provide that kind of information. And it's going to be made available starting off in kindergarten. Yeah, so kindergarten grade children, they're going to learn all about lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transsexuals, etc., etc. Now, what's also interesting is that in Chicago public schools, 85% are black or Latino, and just 8.8% are whites. The reality is that if Chicago wouldn't have who they have for a mayor, Rahm Emanuel, who, according to all the information available, is that he's gay or he's bisexual or he is whatever he is, that probably wouldn't be an issue. But obviously, since he believes his way of life is proper, he sees no reason not to provide education to 5-year-olds about bisexuals. I mean, you know, when I grew up, my parents taught me about sex. You know, my dad sat me down and we talked about the birds and the bees. Well, this is all being taken away from the families in Chicago. And then again, you know, I think that very few families in Chicago are in fact families. I mean, the greater percentage of African Americans don't have a family unit, which is maybe why they have such a high crime rate. I don't even think it's maybe, I'm pretty certain that that's why. And, you know, I mean, this whole thing's ridiculous. If the whites were the majority, this would never have happened. And what I think it shows is how the administration is completely out of control. And I suspect that there are other states that are run by governors that aren't necessarily straight. We know for a fact that Obama has infiltrated the federal judges with an awful lot of homosexuals, which is why I think they're doing what they're doing. What's also interesting is that I believe that by the end of this month, the Supreme Court is supposed to review and rule on the Defense of Marriage Act. That's the one that, you know, the famous Billy Bob Clinton signed into law. And now he's done a full circle. He's decided that it was the wrong thing for him to have done, and he's hoping that the courts reverse what he put into law. It's amazing, isn't it? How the Clintons were so much against homosexuality, and now they're so much in favor of it. Well, you know, I mean, what do you expect? But this whole thing in bringing sex education, talking about lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transsexuals into school starting in kindergarten, what do you think of that? Would you like to have your little 5-year-olds explained about those very personal issues that should be discussed with parents at home? I don't think so. But you know what? It is what it is. And with Rahm Emanuel as their mayor, it's not going to change. What do you think? I'd be curious to know. I do get a lot of emails. And for some reason, the ones that I talk about homosexuality, like the Boy Scouts, that gets a lot of responses. Many of them aren't favorable, but hey, it is what it is.